Now we have to wait a moment. Recording. Thinking. I love you. Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Leanne Schweitzer.
And I'm Dr. Kryzia Olson.
And we're so excited to share with you about our journey to true health and Kangen water. And so my journey to true health began when I was about 16 years old. I had a dream, a desire in my heart to become an Olympic gymnast. And my mom was my biggest fan, my biggest supporter. She signed me up for gymnastics, and I had practices 4 to 5 times a week, meets on Sundays, and she was there for it all. She was there in the sidelines, like watching every single practice that I had, except for this one practice. So I remember it so vividly. It was Saturday morning, and my mom dropped me off for gymnastics that day and left to go do some errands. And lo and behold, I was doing a giant on the high bar, and it was actually a metal bar, and I was strapped in with these straps attached to the metal bar, and I was doing a giant, which is a handstand on top of the bar. And so when I got to the very top, the bar actually broke in half, and I collapsed down to the ground, and I dislocated my shoulder, my elbow, my wrist, and they had to take me across the street to the emergency room. And my mom got the phone call saying that, I was going to the emergency room, and she was there right away, instantly. And that was the end of my gymnastics career, unfortunately, and it also began my journey to true health. I had always been really skinny my whole entire life, and I had attributed skinny equals health for my whole entire life. And so when I quit gymnastics, I wasn't working out at all anymore. And so I actually gained so much weight. I went from a size like 0-1 to a size 13 in a span of just a few months. And it sent me into this period of depression and what is wrong with me and what is going on. And I was just trying to figure out what true health actually was. And so then when I graduated from high school, I went on to college, and that's when my depression went even further, and I struggled with different eating disorders. And it was a really, really challenging time in my life. And I truly believe that the biggest challenges that we go through set us up for the biggest breakthroughs in our life. And so after I graduated from college, I left my environment, my hometown, the state of Maine that I lived in, and I moved to Colorado. And that's when I got introduced to more of a holistic way of living. And I really began to recognize that the food that I was eating was attributing to the weight gain that I had found in my life. And so slowly but surely, I began to eliminate different processed foods, and I found myself feeling better at almost 30 years old, better than I did in my 20s and my teen years. And that was really like my journey to health. And then I met my husband, and we moved from Colorado to Oregon, and I felt pretty healthy at the time. I got introduced to a company where I was now health coaching and helping other people transition into more healthier lifestyles. But my husband was still struggling. He'd had asthma most of his life, and he was actually it got really hard where he was waking up in the middle of the night, and he was using his inhaler 7, 8, 9 times a day, and he was waking up and wheezing and couldn't breathe. And I was like, Roger, we've got to figure this out. And so that's when we got introduced to Dr. Kryzia, and she was so different than any other doctor out there. On the very first visit, she sat down with us for 90 minutes and really just went through everything in our life. And she did many different tests, including a GI test, which is a poop test. And the poop test revealed that Roger's body was only absorbing 20% of the food that he was eating. And we were very intentional at that time about the food that we were eating. And so it was like, oh my gosh, we're buying all of these, organic foods and different things, and his body's not absorbing it. And so we were praying and asking for an answer. And I kid you not, in that same exact week, my dear friend shared a masterclass, just like this masterclass right here. And one of the presenters presenters shared that this water helps your body absorb more nutrients from food. And we were like, oh my gosh, is this the answer to our prayers? And so we made an investment into one of these machines, and we're not allowed to make any health claims, but 3 weeks after drinking the water, and my husband was barely using his inhaler anymore. And it was like, oh my gosh, this water is amazing. And there are so many other uses that we'll get into here. And for me, somebody that was already healthy, I noticed that I had more clarity. The brain fog was lifting and I felt more energized. And, I thought I was really healthy, but then this was like that next up level, that next upgrade. And so it's why I let go of my health coaching career to pursue sharing the benefits of electrolyzed reduced water. And so do you want to share a little about your journey as well?
So I am Dr. Kryzia. I am a naturopathic physician and an acupuncturist. And from the very young age of 4, I knew that I wanted to be a doctor, but I had no idea what kind, because I grew up in Southern California and there was no naturopathic doctors there. And so, as I was growing up, I also was fairly healthy. My biggest thing that I struggled with was actually acne. And so there was a lot, acne is a really interesting thing because there can be a lot of self-criticism around that. And then also, family members who everyone's got their say and want to give you some advice, which double-edged sword right there. And with that process, when I was a teenager, it was trying a bunch of different topicals, even antibiotics, a lot of different options that none of them really quite worked. And then as I was going through college and also started getting more aware of naturopathic medicine and natural medicine in particular, and how your food can actually change a lot of things about your health. And so as I started changing my diet, my skin started to already improve. And that was really when I started realizing that, there's something to this. And that's actually what pulled me more into learning more about naturopathic medicine, as I was also trying to figure out, well, what kind of doctor do I want to be, right? I shadowed a cardiologist, quickly realized I didn't want to do that, because at that point, when you're working with a cardiologist, you already have heart disease, right? Or you're in that unfortunate position where you had a heart attack, and now Western medicine is fantastic in that sense that if you have a heart attack, they're going to able to do something about that and clear the blockages and everything. But then quality of life can be really challenging, and not to mention the poor quality of life that might have even experienced beforehand. And so it just wasn't quite the medicine that I was looking to wanting to practice myself. And I started looking more into, well, what is more about preventative medicine? What can we do? Because that old adage, right, that a ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And so if we can get things taken care of earlier on, not only will you not have to deal with a thing that is ultimately more expensive and more traumatic, but you can also have a better quality of life during that whole duration as well. And entered naturopathic medicine and acupuncture, and instantly fell in love and went through schooling there 6 years. And with that, I learned even more about, what is true health. And at that same time, soon after I started my practice, the pandemic hit. And now we're wearing masks all the time. And as many people experienced, maskne was a real thing. And so my acne came back. I was like, but my diet is good. And I'm changing my masks out. I don't understand quite what's going on. And I actually had a colleague of mine that I was staying with, and one of her patients actually had a Kangen machine and gave her some water and told her what the protocol was for the skin. And so the 3 days that I was with her, I just dabbed my face with some cotton balls in these different pH waters. And by the end of those 3 days, it was very noticeably improved. And I was like, wait, what? Just water? And so it was absolutely amazing. And that was my first real experience with the Kangen machine and the benefits that can come from that. And then, I started hearing from Leanne when she got hers about what Roger was experiencing. And it's like, I think there's something more to this. And then I finally got a machine of my own, and it's really life-changing in ways that I didn't anticipate.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so true. So we're going to get into some of those uses, but first, right, your body, you know this, your body is at least 70% water, and your brain, in fact, is 83% water. Your kidneys, 85%, right? Your blood is almost 100% water, but you know this, right? But you may not really, you don't get it until you get it, right? Before, I was actually drinking tap water, and my husband had told me about these machines years before, and I was like, no, like, water, it doesn't make a difference. We're drinking water, and you don't get it until you get it, right? Until you have that click that the quality of water that you drink, it really matters. And so
yeah, and I had recently done a podcast where I was actually asked, what is the best thing that you can do for yourself if there was only one thing? Mm-hmm. And at the moment, I was really thinking about it and I was like, I don't think I could pick just one thing. But ultimately, you should eat clean food and you should get good water. And then as I was thinking more about it, if I had to pick one, I actually would say that water is what's more important, right? Because we also know that we can go without food for like a week, but without water, it's only a few days. And if you're getting poor quality food, but you have high quality water, your body's going to be able to process out and detoxify a lot easier versus if it's the opposite, right? Where you have poor water, so you're constantly being inundated with toxins, which unfortunately is in our tap water. And with that, it's like, okay, well, maybe the water is not clean, but then you're getting really good food nutrition wise, but are you actually going to be able to absorb all of that, right? And it's kind of the situation that you guys found yourself in.
Yes. And so we're going to introduce you to Kangen water and Enagic. So since 1974, the Japanese company Enagic, it has been considered the leader in innovation and production of medical grade water filtration and alkaline water ionized. The Enagic's philosophy is change your water, change your life, and it centers around realizing true mental, physical, and financial health. And so Kangen water is electrolyzed, reduced, ionized water. So if you'd like to do further research on your own, you can go to Google Scholar or PubMed, and you can use the scientific term electrolyzed, reduced water or ionization to learn a little bit more about some of the scientific studies behind that. And this is, like I said, it's a certified medical grade Enagic machine. There are many other ionizers on the market, and this is actually the only one that invested to get the certified medical grade device. And they were actually, fun fact, their first 10 years in business. This is a Japanese company out of Okinawa, Japan, which is actually one of the blue zones of the world. And the first 10 years of this company, they were strictly in Japanese hospitals. They were serving the water to their clients. And one of the uses is, at the click of a button, is the 2.5, which is a sanitizer. We'll get into that more here shortly, but they were sanitizing the medical equipment in between surgeries. And so why we love Enagic, right? We've already established that the human body is 70% water. And Enagic's philosophy believes that the basis of vitality and long life is water, right? People that live in Okinawa, Japan, they are on average centennials, living to 100 to 120 years old. And they what's the word I'm looking for? They attribute it to the lifestyle that they live and the water that they are drinking, right? So over 45 years, Enagic International has been the leader in manufacturing water ionization systems that transform regular acidic tap water into pure, filtered, electrolyzed, reduced, and hydrogen-rich drinking water. Enagic machines are 100% hand constructed in Japan and shipped worldwide via 40 offices in 23 locations and growing as we speak. Thousands of people are experiencing the benefits that these revolutionary products bring to their health, homes, and businesses. And investing in Enagic gives you lifetime global distribution rights to a patented direct sales business with uncapped income potential. And so what that means is that these machines aren't going to be sold in Costco or Walmart or anything like that. You've got to know somebody in order to get one of these machines, because there are so many different uses that they want you to work with somebody that has the machine in their home and are using it on a daily basis. And the thing about these machines is that they have H2, which is molecular hydrogen. H2 has a therapeutic potential for over 170 disease models, including Parkinson's, cancers, Alzheimer's, and Crohn's disease. Molecular hydrogen is an antioxidant, an anti-inflammatory, anti-aging, anti-diabetic, and anti-tumor. And drinking hydrogen in our water is the most powerful way to bring this anti-inflammatory into our bodies, right? We're all drinking water anyways. And so this is why we drink this water every day and share it so passionately with others.
Yeah, I don't actually believe that water is neutral in the terms of it's either beneficial or it's not really doing that much. And you can look on EWG, which stands for the Environmental Working Group, same folks who put out the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. So it's www.ewg.org/tap water. And then there you can just put in your zip code and actually see on that database what's in your water. And so that's actually one of the things that I recommend all the time, because we should know what is in our water, because unfortunately the legal limits of what is safe and not safe are not the same thing. So like here in Bend, for example, unfortunately we have arsenic in our water. And so, right, if you're constantly getting that into your system, that could, right, over time really negatively affect your health. But then if you have purified water, right, that's like, oh, that's great. You're not getting toxins, but it's not as beneficial then as if you have like molecular hydrogen water, where now it's not just hydrating your body, it's also doing more.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so our product collection, Enagic has a really small product line. We've only got 4 products, and actually the fourth product just got added. If you're watching this currently, November 1st, right? So just last week. And so the K8 is Enagic's flagship ionizer that produces antioxidant-rich water in 5 different pH levels, from 2.5 hypochlorous acid for disinfecting to beauty, drinking, and even degreasing with 11.5. And we all know that our skin is our largest organ. And so the water that you're bathing in, it matters as well too. So we've also got a shower unit. It's your in-home spa experience attachment. And not only does it filter the water, but it also remineralizes it through an active charcoal ceramic filter while removing chlorine and bacteria to protect your family's skin. And you just got yours.
Yeah, yes. It's fantastic.
How was your first shower?
The longer I was in it, the more I didn't want to leave.
I know, right? It's so amazing. And so the M-Guard is our brand new environment harmonizer. It's targeting high frequency electromagnetic noise radiation up to 1 gigahertz. You can defend your family and loved ones against invisible electromagnetic disturbances. And then last but not least, in Okinawa, Japan, they have one of the biggest turmeric farms in the whole entire world, and they grow this turmeric in Kangen water. So this is chemical-free wild turmeric, which has powerful antioxidant, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory properties, and it's available in capsules, in tea, and also in soap. And so not all water is equal, right? And so these machines, the K8, they create acidic and alkalized waters for low toxic, eco and health conscious living, right? So first things first, we've talked about nourishing your body with filtered, electrolyzed, reduced water full of rich hydrogen, free radical scavengers, and antioxidants. And the second thing that these machines do is they save the planet by reducing plastic waste and chemicals in your home, waterways, and the ocean. And lastly, you are going to, by investing in one of these machines, you're going to save thousands by replacing all of these harmful cleaners and chemicals with machines. And so first things first, pH 2.5 is going to be strong acidic water. And so hypochlorous acid is the body's natural immune fighter, a substance produced in white blood cells to keep the body healthy. It's also the antimicrobial ingredient in pH 2.5 electrolyzed water, killing 99% of germs, and it's non-toxic to humans and animals, right? So if you've got kids and your kid's going, lick all the things, right? You don't have to have any worries or fears, right? Because It's non-toxic, and you can't buy hyperchlorous acid in the store as it has a very limited shelf life once it's produced. And with Enagic machines, you have access to fresh 2.5 literally on tap to use in your home with the push of a button. And so you get the ability to kill all microbes. You can pre-rinse all of your fruits and veggies and your meat, let them sit for a minute before soaking in the 11.5, and this will kill all microbes, and it will also kill MRSA and infections and COVID,
Yeah,
right?
there's a study for that.
There is a study for that. You can also use this for disinfecting anything in your home. 2.5 is stronger than bleach. And when we do in-home presentations, I actually get you to smell it, and it literally like smells stronger than bleach, and it kills 99.9% of germs while completely non-toxic and safe to use, right? So you can use it for soaking your baby pacifiers in your bottles, your tweezers, your menstrual cups, your toilet, your shower, and your sink. It's an all-in-one. You can use it in place of antibacterial soap and alcohol-based hand sanitizers. You can clean hard water spots off of chrome and off of metal. You can use it to spray your face and your neck and rub your skin upwards until dry, and then finish with beauty water to tone your skin. You can brush and gargle for better oral health. Do you want to share about your experience with that?
Yeah, my partner and I just started gargling actually with the 2.5 water, and it is very interesting. Your teeth feel a little bit different afterwards, and then it's actually really quite pleasant then when you wait a little bit and then you rinse with a 9.5, and it feels like you had a deep clean. And it lasts for quite a while too.
Yep. And I remember going to the dentist before I had this machine, and, they would go through and they would be like, oh, 5, 4, 5, 4. I was like, oh no. And then I came back a couple of months later after I had started using the 2.5 as gargle, and, they're going in and they're like 3, 2, 3, 2. And so these machines, like, they actually really do help your oral health, right? This procedure will help prevent or resolve periodontal disease and thrush, as well as help you to avoid root canals.
And your mouth is actually the beginning part of your digestive tract. So actually, if you have inflammation within your gums, you actually are going to have inflammation everywhere in your system. So by improving oral health, you really can improve your overall health.
So important. And so the 2.5, you don't actually want to drink this water, and the machine actually will beep at you when it's coming out. And if you are vomiting, you can actually take 1 to 2 tablespoons, drink 1 to 2 tablespoons of the 2.5 to help stop vomiting. Like I said, these machines were in hospitals. If you've got open wounds, burns, infections, you can use it to stop bleeding and kill candida, right? My husband actually this summer got bit by a dog, bit by a big old Dalmatian. And he came home and he was in the garage, and I'm like, Roger, do we need to go to the hospital and get you stitches? And he stood up and he walked into the kitchen and he turned on the Conga machine and put on the 2.5 and just started pouring it over him. And he did that for the next couple of weeks. And it's like it healed itself. The body healed itself, right? Which is what the body does. That's actually what Kangen translates to in Japanese is return to origin, right? Because your body has the ability to heal itself. And so more things that the 2.5 does, you can use it for infected sinuses, spraying in your nose twice a day for 2 days, wait 2 minutes, and then flush with the 11.5. If you've got nail fungus, you can spray twice a day or soak. If you get pink eye, you can spray the infected eye several times throughout the day and it will clear up. If you've got a sore throat, strep throat, or a cough, I actually, a couple of weeks ago, my daughter started to get a cough, and then I was like, oh, am I getting a cough? And I started gargling the 2.5 a couple of times a day, and I never actually got sick, right? And so poison ivy, if you get poison ivy, you can spray it on the infected area as often as needed. It will slow down the itching and dry up the poison ivy much quicker. If you've got fever, blisters, or sores, you can spray or gargle to stop and dry up both. If you got moles and warts, if you see something abnormal in your skin, you can use a gauze pad on a Band-Aid with the 2.5 and apply over the area. You can change the Band-Aid at least once a day, and this process will take about 30 to 60 days before seeing results. And so the 6.0, this is what you were talking about. Yeah. Yep. This is the same pH as your hair and your skin, right? The skin's healthy natural pH is between 5.4 and 5.9, which is slightly acidic. And so this is why acidic pH water is an effective 100% natural way to return the skin and hair to its natural pH. And so you can clean your face twice a day. You can use it as a hair conditioner. You were blown away by that, right? You've got like luscious curly hair. And
I stopped using my actual hair conditioner because I ran out, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out, and filled up 64 ounces of the beauty water. And at the end of my shower, just put that all over my scalp and try to get as much in my hair. It is a little jarring because it is a little cold, compared to like the nice hot shower. Which also is really good hydrotherapy. So it's like, all right, this is multiple wins here. And it actually works just as well, if not a little bit better than my hair conditioner that I was using.
Mm-hmm. Mind blowing, right? I remember when I first got our machine and I'm like doing all the uses and I'm like cleaning and doing things. And I'm like, Roger, come over here. It's like magic. Like it was mind blowing when I actually started using all these different pH waters. Right?
Yeah, with my partner, I was like, feel my hair.
Yeah. And so same with the rashes and diaper rashes, right? You can spray on the skin to soothe and heal rashes. If you got pets, which catnip's in here, like look at my luscious coat. You can bathe your pets for more lustrous coats. Your plants, you can water indoor and outdoor plants for vigorous growth. That was one of the big things that we noticed is, we've always had a big garden. And when we started using the Kangen water, we were pouring it on our plants, and our plants were literally like quadruple the size that they were from the previous year. And it makes sense, right? Because we're plants in human form, right? Also, right, you don't even think about this, but you're using your chlorinated, arsenicated, I just made up that word, to cook your food in, right? And so you can actually use the 6.0 to boil your eggs and boil your pasta. You can also use it for freezing foods, for fabric softener. If you've got eyeglasses, you can use it to clean the lenses. If you use Windex, you can replace all of your window and mirror cleaners with simply 6.0. You can clean your floors for polishing and house cleaning, your hardwood, your ceramic. You can use 6.0 in replacement of tap water. And then the 8.5 to the 9.5 is the alkalized Kangen water. This is the drinking water, and Agic machines produce filtered, electrolyzed, reduced Kangen water for drinking, ranging from 8.5 to 9.5. And the internal filter removes lead, remaining chlorine, ephylium, rust, and other impurities, yet maintains the essential minerals required for ionization. Kangen water is then produced through a process of electrolysis, which separates the positive and negative ions, creating acidic and alkalized water. And water in its natural state is H2O. And when selecting the pH of 8.5, 9, or 9.5 options from the machine, the two hydrogen atoms become unstable from the O and bond together and become H2, or molecular hydrogen. And H2 is commonly known as a free radical scavenger and powerful antioxidant in the body, right? Unlike bottled alkaline water, which is created by adding minerals to the water, Kangen water is produced through electrolysis, and the benefits are experienced and the electric charge dissipates over time, and there's no risk of mineral buildup in the body. But this is why this water needs to be consumed within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, oftentimes the alkaline water that's bottled is usually they just add baking soda or sodium bicarbonate to it. So it's like, well, you can do that at home too. It's not quite the same thing.
But over time, that's going to mess with your stomach acid and stuff.
Cause a lot more issues.
So that's why if you ever Googled, is alkaline water good for you? And it says that is the reason why, because there's alkaline water where they're adding chemicals. And then this is alkalized water where it goes through an electrolysis process. And so, right, like we said, you can use it for cooking, boiling and steaming rice, soups and stews with Kangen water. And it's also suitable for your tea and your coffee in the morning. Use it for weight loss, drink before you snack or before meals, spider veins over the time, drinking the water and cell repairing spider veins can improve, aromatherapy, also pets. When we first got the machine, what we did is we took a cup of 8.5, a cup of 9, and a cup of 9.5 and put them all out, and then let the cats decide what they wanted, and they went for the 8.5, and so that's just what we have been giving them ever since. And so last but not least is the pH of 11.5, which is strong alkalized Kangen water. And so the 11.5 is a degreaser and emulsifier most commonly used for removing oils and pesticides from fruits and vegetables, and can also be used as a household cleaning supply. And so one of the things that we also do in our water demo is show you, right, you know that water and oil don't mix. And so when you mix water and oil, when you mix the 11.5 water with oil, it actually emulsifies it, and it has it has the ability to remove oil-based pesticides from your fruits and vegetables. You can also, if you take melatonin before you go to bed, you can replace that with a shot glass of 11.5 before bedtime to help release melatonin for a great night's sleep. You can use it as an eye wash. You can use it for grease in your eye. Roger, my husband, actually used it to clean his bike chain. We were completely blown away by that. If you wear makeup, you can spray it on your eyes to dissolve and remove makeup. If you've got puffy eyes, you can spray it on the eyes to reduce puffiness. You can use it as a hot bath soak. Fill up a gallon of the 11.5 and pour that in your bathtub. And this is going to replace your Epsom salt or any other remedy. And this works even better if you have the Anespa as well too. If you've got allergies, cold symptoms, snoring, you can use a nasal wash when sinuses are plugged. You can use it as a bug spray repellent, sunburn, pain, bug bites, swelling, heat burn, indigestion, food poisoning, stomach flu, if you've got arthritis, gout, muscle soreness, or tissue injuries, and also ice cubes to help offset acidic drinks. And rice, beans, legumes, you can soak them for 5 to 10 minutes and then rinse clean with a 9.5. You want to say the next one?
Yeah, the laundry soap.
She actually texted me. She was like,
amazing.
Yeah, Leanne, do you actually use this for your laundry? And I'm like, yep, I have for the last 2.5 years. And it works great, right? Also for stains.
Probably even better. I had a stain on my carpet that I dropped a little bit of plant food on it, turned a little yellow stain. So we decided, all right, let's bust out the carpet cleaner, clean it out. Chemicals interacted, turned it purple. It's like, great, now I have a bigger stain. And the thing that I was going to use to clean it made it worse. So I don't know what to do, right? And then we got the machine, and I literally just sprayed it with 11.5, and it vanished before my eyes. I didn't have to do anything.
So amazing.
Fascinating. On clothing, same thing. When I spilled a little bit of honey on a dress, I was like, oh no, my dress is ruined. I had actually some of the, for this one, I just had the drinking water, which is the 9.5. Put a little bit of that, and it went away.
Amazing. Yes.
I use it as a degreaser all the time. So really anything that is like oil based, spray that on there. We cooked a steak last night. And so of course that splattered everywhere. Just sprayed the 11.5 on there, wiped it clean, just like that.
Yep. Same with your cleaning your oven, your clogged sinks and your tubs. It can replace your 409 cleaner and your Drano. You can polish silverware. You can use it for paint thinner. After using oil-based paints, use the 11.5 to clean up, and Goo Gone, right? So if you've got greasy, gooey, gummy, sticky problems, right? You're peeling stickers off of things that you buy at the store, and you use this and it works just like Goo Gone.
Yeah, I had a glass bottle that I've had and has gone through dishwasher multiple times, and it still has that residue, and you can scrub it with some soap and maybe it'll come off, but oftentimes it doesn't, because that's what I had been doing. And then got that 11.5 and it was just running, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. Put it on there, it literally came off in like couple seconds.
Yes.
Right. It's amazing.
So these are just some of the uses, right? We've got a PDF that has 68 plus uses that explains it all. If you desire to see that, just reach out to either one of us or whoever shared this masterclass with you. Is there anything else you want to share?
It's really surprising. At first, I was always a little skeptical about the change your water, change your life, but it's true.
Change your water, change your life. Yes. Reach out to the person that you learned this or shared this masterclass with for the next steps. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.